everyone. I hope you're having a good day today. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. It is Monday. This is your daily tarot reading for Monday, February 25th, 2019. And I totally forgot that I had to do this video, and I forgot that there was supposed to be a blog up today. So if you were looking for the blog, it is simply not there because I forgot. I'll have that up to you probably before I go to bed tonight or early tomorrow. So look out for that tomorrow. I do apologize if you got the email telling you there was a blog there and there was nothing there, an entry there. So yeah, this weekend I just kind of forgot a lot of stuff, but we are here and we are doing our 3-card reading for our Mondays, and I'm going to start with the Fairies Oracle. So as usual, we have the Fairies Oracle, the Vice Versa Tarot, and the Tarot of the Orishas. If you are new to the channel, then I'm going to let you know that I don't know these decks very well. I haven't been using them for long. In fact, I only use them for these readings. So I am going to be giving you kind of my interpretation of what they mean, my feelings about just what I'm reading as I'm reading them, but I'm also going to use the books that come with them. And maybe sometime later this week, I will show you guys the new deck that I got that didn't come with a book at all. So, we'll see what happens. Let's get started. Your first deck is the Fairies Oracle, and with that deck we have Carnelian, which is a wonderful stone for increasing passion, increasing your vitality, your strength. If you're feeling like kind of weak or sick, this is a great stone to bring with you just to kind of help pump up your energy, keep you like up and alive. This is one of the stones I will often take if I know I'm going to have a big day with kids. With both of my jobs, I work with kids, so sometimes I know it's going to be a big crazy day, and I will take this along with Aventurine and Blue Lace Agate, and these are my kid stones, just because this one gives you a lot of energy. It brings you just kind of a lot of, like I said, vitality, a lot of life to your spirit, and keeps you kind of moving and makes you feel more passionate. It gives you ideas to do things to pursue your passion. And so if you are trying to figure out what your passion in life is or what you want to pursue, even for the next year, it doesn't have to be your life passion, but what you want to do, then this Carnelian stone may help you find your path. So let's see, with our passionate Carnelian stone, what your message is from the fairies. So from the Fairies Oracles, I would like to know what the message is for whoever this reading is meant for today, Monday, February 25th, 2019. What is the message from the fairies, the fae folk, and all their kin? What is their main message to guide whoever is brought to this message today, to guide whoever is brought to this reading? What is your message? Please and thank you. You have himself. Okay, so I do think that this card, I think it makes me think of the Green Man imagery. It makes me think of, someone who is grounded in nature, someone who is more comfortable in nature. But with specifically himself, I feel like this has to do with finding alignment for yourself, figuring out, just like what I said a second ago with the Carnelian, if you're trying to figure out your purpose or your path, even for the next year, then it might mean that you need to take some time to figure out yourself, okay? So because with himself, I feel like this is a message to understand what you desire in your heart, what you need logically, and what you think about the things that you're trying to do, and also be able to connect with that higher self energy, that part of yourself that knows what's going on, whether or not you consciously do, your intuition, you're just, I guess intuition is the best word for it. So there's this crown energy here, this third eye energy, and this heart chakra energy, and I think you need to find a way to align align what's in your heart with what's in your head and what's your higher purpose is. And if it takes it's going to take some time, but I do think it's going to take meditation. I do think it's going to take, really evaluating yourself, evaluating your beliefs, evaluating why you do certain things, why you pursue certain paths, why you've made certain choices in your past that have led you to where you are now, and how those things resonate with you on a deeper level, how they resonate with your heart and, like I said, your third eye and your crown. Like, how do these things feel for you? So for example, you've been living your life, working jobs that you don't love, dating people that you're not really into but are good on paper, just being someone that is not necessarily entirely true to who you are or who you want to be. Maybe you're just not wearing the clothes that you feel good in because of whatever reasons, because your mom wants you to wear a certain outfit or a certain type of clothes, and so you don't dress the way you feel comfortable dressing. Whatever it is, there's some part of you that's out of alignment when this message comes up, or at least that's what I'm feeling, because like I said, I don't know these cards. But there's some part of you that needs to be brought back into alignment so that you can figure out where you're going from here. Okay, and what the choices you're making, what they mean to you on a very deep spiritual level. Like, this is something bigger than, just your normal day job. This is how you want to spend your next year, how you want to spend the next 5 years, how do you want to spend the rest of your life, and are the things that you're doing now in alignment with that? All the things that you do are the things that you're doing now in alignment with who you believe yourself to be or who you think you want to become. Okay, so let's see what the book says about himself, because that is, of course, just my interpretation, and quite often they're a little bit different. Himself represents natural law, life force, magic, shamanic power. When himself appears in a card spread, he not only indicates that a great amount of energy is present in the reading, but he also strongly energizes the fairy cards around him. Everything he touches becomes more of whatever it is. More alive, more vigorous, more powerful, more awesome, or more awful. More vigorous. This card in a reading can indicate great vitality, victory or triumph, confidence and power. There's leadership and ability to command, steadfastness and integrity. Wild power held and channeled for the good of all by will. Himself speaks of protection, either of the querent, that would be you, or of someone the querent owes protection to, like a child or an elder. Acceptance of paternal responsibility is important, as are deep and committed relationships. He is the preserver of the natural world and its balances. Shamanic power may be indicated here, as well as potential for powerful spiritual healing. This card may also speak of erotic energy, passion, and potent creativity. So yeah, literally all these energies that are in the carnelian are in himself, that passion, that vitality. It's also a great stone if you're like trying to spice things up in the bedroom. So like all of those vital energy kind of forces that came through with the stone also came through with himself, and I still feel like, it plays into whether or not you're on the right path and how you're in alignment with yourself. If this card is reversed or you're not feeling that first interpretation, then when the energy of himself is being blocked, we feel limp, enervated, drained. There may also be depression, either physical or emotional. Energy may be locked into obsessions or may swing from blocked to out of control. Twisted, the life force, strength, and/or authority may be being misused as arrogant aggressiveness or violence towards others. When this card is reversed in a reading, careful and prayerful consideration needs to be given to how the energy can be rechanneled into its naturally creative and protective mode. At worst, this potent energy becomes a force for war, oppression, and domination. The very worst is when brutality or twisted sexuality is turned on the very persons this energy within us should be protecting. As in all the she powers, what has great potential for good can also have great potential for destruction. Volcanic release may occur. That's one of those words that I don't think I've ever known how to pronounce the right way. Well, that's your reading for the fairies oracle. I will try to remember to put a link in the description for the next one, but if not, I don't know, just skip to a point where I'm doing this and you will find it. So next we have our vice versa tarot. With the Vice Versa Tarot, we have our clear quartz, which we all probably know a bunch about at this point. Clear quartz is a lovely stone for enhancing any kind of psychic or spiritual or magical works. You can just about any, if you do spell work, just about any spell work that says use such and such stone, you can probably replace it with clear quartz if you need to, because clear quartz is it's a basic energy. It's just like pure clear energy that you can use for any of your works. It's a great stone if you're trying to especially do something like meditation. It's one of the best stones, I think, to start your meditation practice on if you've never, if you're not a big meditator, because of how clear it is and how like the energy is just kind of versatile. That's the word I'm looking for. And as you can see, I do say it's clear, but as you can see, there are these like little kind of striations or iffy whatever's in there. Let's see. Can you see this? I don't think that makes it better. But yeah, there's stuff going on in there. Because when you have a real stone, chances are it's not going to be perfectly smooth and perfectly like undamaged. Because it's a stone, and so the way it naturally forms is going to create all kinds of things going on inside. It's going to create striations. If you see like the carnelian, it's also got like lines and different striations, depending on like the temperature that it's made in, depending on the environment that it comes from. So if you do find something and someone says it's clear quartz, really be careful that you're not getting just a glass marble. And one of the ways that I do to find out whether or not I'm getting a real stone is I check for striations. I check for the lines and the breaks and the cracks inside. I check for imperfections, because imperfections are what makes things beautiful. So, like I said, if you are a newbie with stones, with meditation, with magic, with anything, clear quartz is a wonderful stone to use. It's a very clear, powerful, power-enhancing stone. So, let's see what your message is from the Vice Versa Tarot. I would like to do more readings with these, but I can't think of any yet. So if you guys have any ideas or any readings that you'd like to see on the channel other than our daily readings and these Monday readings, please let me know, because I do want to try new stuff. I want to branch out, you know, keep it interesting, keep me on my toes. So if you guys want some different spreads, you know, just message me and I will either make new spreads, or you can send me spreads that you'd like to see, whatever works. I usually make all of my own spreads, but I'm open. I am open and accepting and willing to add more for you guys. So, what is your message for today? February 25th, 2019, Monday. What is the message for whoever was drawn to this deck, the Vice Versa Tarot, from our higher selves, from yours to mine, from soul to heart to thought? What is the message from this, the Vice Versa Tarot, for whoever is meant to receive it? So I just click both sides because it's got both sides. Why not? So you have the Page of Wands. This is the page, right? Yes, I think the knight has like a horse head, you know, like a chest knight. So this is the Page of Wands, and he is quite handsome. I do think with this message, I think there's a very powerful energy, the kind of energy that's like, I can take on anything. But I do also think that maybe this is a message to temper yourself. I'll tell you why. So he's got this very strong stance of, I can do anything, I'm very powerful, I know what I want and I know what I'm going after. But unfortunately around him, it's just desert. It's like dead plants. Even his staff is kind of covered in like these kind of wilting or dead branches, these dry, lifeless branches. So I do think it's telling you, you know, like, yes, have this power, have this feeling of excitement, whatever it is you're trying to go after. And I do think this is someone who's going after something, someone who's pursuing a new job, someone who's pursuing a new creative passion, a new physical activity, like a new exercise routine, whatever it is, don't assume that you can do everything on your own. Don't assume that you won't have any hardships. And also, when you do, don't give up on yourself, because hardships are just kind of part of the natural environment. And there is a lot of power that you have the potential to unlock, okay? Because on this side, check this out. So we have all of this. We have this bird rising from the ashes, rising from this dead desert land. We have this power, this fire. And so I do think that this is saying that, there's potential underneath your current status, your current standing. There's potential for greatness here, but try not to get ahead of yourself. Try not to, well, how do I explain? Just be patient. Go after what you want, be aggressive to a certain extent, but really be aware that downfalls can happen. Downfalls are bound to happen, and all of that energy, all that power that you are waiting to unleash, you're not yet ready to unleash it, okay? There's still some more for you to learn. There's still a little bit more for you to understand about the situation, whatever it is. So start slow. You're kind of still vulnerable to failure. You're vulnerable to hurting yourself, even, especially if this is like a workout routine. And literally the only reason I'm thinking that is because of these abs. Look at those. Like, if this is a workout routine, though, you're not going to look like this in a day. Slow down, temper yourself, go after what you desire, but keep a level head. Don't get beyond yourself. Don't start thinking so far into the future that you're not really able or ready to deal with the now. Okay? Let's see what the book says about the Page of Wands on this side. Chalices, Pentacles, Wands. I guess in the book he's called the Knave of Wands because, fancy. The Knave of Wands represents your outer self. A brawny young man stands in a desert landscape holding a tall staff. His upper body is bare, save for battle gauntlets and a fiery red cloak. His attitude is confident. He is sure of himself and fearless. His bare chest symbolizes a declaration of his strength and a challenge to other knaves to match or best it. This is a person who is undeniably attractive, but he may lack social graces or even fail to understand why they are important. He doesn't mind taking the hard way through a situation rather than smoothing the path. Like the thorny plant at his feet, he can be prickly and irritating in close quarters. And that is all this says about the Knave of Wands, which I'm not sure how that gives you a reading, more than it just tells you what kind of person the Knave of Wands is. But I guess, that makes sense. Whatever. All right. So, next deck, we are at the Tarot of the Orishas. So with the Tarot of the Orishas, we have this blue lace agate, which I mentioned just a few minutes ago with the carnelian, because it is one of my favorite stones to bring when I am hanging out with kids, when I'm doing my work with kids. So the blue lace agate is another one of those stones with these really pretty striations, these really pretty lines. Can you see that? There you go. Look at that. That's super pretty. And it is one of, I think, my favorite stones. I've had this stone for at least 4.5 or 5 years now. And it's a great stone for communication. It's a great stone for being able to open up your throat chakra. It's a wonderful stone for being able to, have difficult conversations with people, even though they may not have been open to it before. Using this stone to kind of enhance your ability to speak eloquently is a wonderful way to communicate with people. And also using it for speeches. Still prepare your speeches. This isn't going to help you come up with a brand new speech, but it is going to help you say them smoothly and with as little stumbling and stuttering and confusion as possible. So this is a wonderful stone for any kind of communication issues, any kind of just getting a message across. This is your buddy. All right. So let's see what your message is from the Tarot of the Orishas. for today, Monday, February 25th, 2019. From my ancestors to yours, and yours to mine. What is the message from the Orishas, from those ancient gods who will never be forgotten? What is the message for this day for whoever this reading is meant for, whoever was drawn to this deck on Monday, February 25th, 2019? You have Shapana, Shapana. Shapana, Shapana? Interesting. I do feel like this is someone doing a bit of a ritual dance. Maybe they're lost in ecstasy. I do feel like you, whoever you are, you might be in a place where you are feeling good about everything. You're feeling joyful. You're moving up in your career. You're moving up in your life. You're changing your situation in some positive way. But there's something kind of hidden here. There's something that you're not necessarily seeing. And I think this is just telling you, to be careful so that you don't trip up. Be careful. Try to make sure you're opening your eyes so that you can see all aspects of the situation, but don't lose that joyful, ecstatic kind of energy that you've been carrying with you, because that's going to help bring you through. Because even if you trip and stumble, you'll be able to get yourself right back up and continue this dance through life. And I do feel like he's dancing. I feel like this is a very spiritual kind of lively dance. He's got this instrument, and I don't remember the name of it, but I do remember learning about this when I was in college in one of my music classes. And it's like a rattle. It makes noise. And so there's this music, there's this spiritual music that we all have access to, and it can really just kind of change your life when you start tuning into it. And so maybe you're kind of in that path where you're starting to tune into it, but you still just have a lot to learn about what you're tuning into and what you're learning about. But whatever it is, even when you stumble, truly really just try to understand all of the situation, understand everything that's going on, and then get back up and continue your joy, continue your dance, continue whatever it is that's brought on this kind of energy of ecstasy that you're experiencing. Okay, so let's see what the book says about the Shapana Shapana. And what page is it going to be on? This is probably the hardest of the decks to look for cards, just because there's no order that I know of in this deck. There is an order, but I don't know the order. Does that make sense? Anyway, Shapana Shapana, or also known as Babaluale or Omulu. This means high fraternal and spiritual sense, charitable and humanitarian power, spirit of service, strong imagination and organizing mind, strongly sensitive to the pain of others, both physical and spiritual. He is always willing to cooperate as much as possible, and this quality becomes more noticeable with the passing of time. A process of illness that comes to an end, recovery and improvement from a state, interference with joints and bones. Its influence extends to a dermatological level, meaning in the positive level, you may start feeling better physically, you may start feeling better mentally, and you may be more capable of connecting with other people with that humanitarian power and that spirit of service, and that high fraternal sense, that brotherhood kind of energy. All right, if this card was to be read in a negative way, then the cards may be interpreted to mean an illness or a psychosomatic process. You may be dealing with loneliness and ostracism, silence, self-examination and seclusion, psychological, behavioral, and communication difficulties. You may be suffering from... Oh, sorry, I read backwards. But an examination should be made by specialists like psychologists or psychotherapists. You may need a checkup, and symptoms, however small, should be observed and referred to your doctor. Okay, so if this does read in a more negative light, then there may be some health issues for you to get checked out. There may be some mental issues for you to need to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist about. Whatever it is, there may be some issues with communicating how you feel and how you experience things. But I do feel like this is kind of, for the majority of you, I do think that this might be a more positive energy, that you are feeling more brotherly, more sisterly, more familial, and more connected with other people. You want to do more for people. You want to experience more positive things. Okay, so that is what you have for today, for Monday, February 25th, 2019. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you tomorrow, and I'm going to go and edit this video, and then I will be writing a blog. So stay tuned for that. And remember always that I love you. Bye.